Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning into another Supatease video, and the class changes just don't stop coming, and I know that it is a lot to read, so just let me do the reading for you, chill out, vibe, and play the game, and listen to these massive changes that are coming in for Holy Paladins specifically. You guys are getting a huge touch-up in 10.1.5, and definitely was one of the specializations that needed it, so let's get started here. Greetings, Holy Paladins. Significant changes are being made to the Holy Paladin specialization tree and fractures in time, and we'd like to go over our goals and plans for these changes. Meaningful choices. The previous tree layout and talent nodes did not offer as much choice between content as we'd like. A main goal of this update is to encourage diversity between talent builds so gameplay feels varied between content and encounter types. To achieve this goal, we are taking a hard look at the tuning and integration of underrepresented talents to ensure they are both competitive and can fit within multiple builds. Too many talents felt like they worked for one playstyle but not another. This is generally fine in moderation, but was rampant throughout the Holy Paladin tree. We're aiming to have more talents that have functionality for multiple builds as to encourage experimentation throughout the tree. This will all come along with new additions to the tree intended to support new playstyles. So rather than just pigeonholing you down into one route, similar to what we saw for the mages, which I will have linked to those changes. Those were huge at the end of this video. Rotational updates. There are a few core rotational changes that we're implementing to slow down the expenditure of generators that do not heal. Holy Paladin felt like too many globals were being spent on damaging abilities purely to generate holy power, which did not feel right for a healer specialization. Bit worrisome here. We're considering removing Radiant Onslaught to address this, but are going to wait for more testing before deciding on that change. We also think a few abilities that seemed core were not completely integrated into the kit, such as Judgment and Shield of the Righteous. These abilities see significant use, but often felt separated from the regular rotational flow. Addressing this will be a key goal of the update. Reducing the time Holy Paladins spend dealing damage without healing allows for a steadier stream of healing and more time to focus on triaging. Overall, we'd like Holy Paladin to be more focused on when and where and if their healing should be used than they are now. So a big shift from like spamming out damage abilities that makes it sound like they're going to give you more damage in a smaller time but less frequency. Infusion of Light's high uptime and low use rate has been concerning for us. We'd like to make this more spendable but also appear less often as to be a real moment of empowerment that feels good to capitalize on. We're hoping the redesign of Greater Judgment and addition of Judgment to the spells that can consume infusion helps this proc feel more impactful for every build. For Mastery, we have heard feedback that Holy Paladin's Mastery can feel restrictive and more of a loss of power than gain. We're returning Beacon of the Lightbringer to help address this concern. We're hoping this allows for clever Beacon of Light placement and positioning to allow for more freedom of movement around the battlefield. Mana expenditure. The nature of Holy Power being a mana-free resource is that the spenders must carry the mana weight, but Holy Paladin must constantly be generating to heal efficiently. This can lead to gameplay feeling punishing with only a few abilities costing most of your mana, and there not being ways to avoid that being the case. To remedy this, we are looking at adding ways to regenerate mana through active play or for there to be mana refunds in some situations. I would love to see Divine Plea. Alongside this, we are also investigating attaching a slight mana cost to Holy Power spenders and decreasing the cost of generators to even out the rate of expenditure. We'd love to hear feedback on this topic. My main feedback would be getting Divine Plea back into the game. I feel like that had a huge interaction with how you were playing. You need to time your mana regeneration phase because your healing's going to take a bit of a hit. It had huge gameplay. It could be purged. I would really like to see Divine Plea come back into play for Holy Paladins here. I kind of doubt it, but that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think for Holy Paladin in the comments down below. Damage toolkit. As mentioned before, Shield of Righteousness and Judgment have not felt fully integrated into Holy Paladin playstyle. We're looking to address this through a few new talent additions and redesigns that can contribute damage effectively in multiple encounter profiles. Our hope is that Holy Paladins will have an easier time deciding if Shield of the Righteous is a worthy way to spend their holy power, as they currently often are giving up more than we'd like to actively contribute offensively. More on the way. There are more changes and iteration to come as we move towards Fractures in Time release. We're excited to hear your thoughts and we'll share more as PTR progresses. Thank you for your continued feedback. So it seems a little bit less specific for Paladin than what we got for Mage, but it seems like they want to do a pretty big shift and overhaul for your class, kind of like the level of rework that we were kind of expecting for Ret Paladins or Shadow Priests race previously. So it is awesome to see that you are going to be getting the attention that you deserve. You're going to see a huge shift here with this patch, which is, probably not even that far away, right? 10.1.5 is the next incoming patch. So I'm very excited to see what these talent trees play out. I'd love to see like Tears Deliverance see some buffs, that casted heal over time effect with some Legion gameplay, maybe some mana interaction similar to the Wrath of Lich King style of Holy Paladin, and getting their casted spells feeling better. I think it could put Holy Paladin back on the map and make for a better experience overall. So I'm very excited to see this. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts for this update, and we'll see if any more happen, because I wasn't expecting this many today, but we will be here right on the front lines, getting them right to you as soon as possible. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.